Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Nick with SimpleAlgo here, and in today's video, I'm going to show you guys my current favorite strategy with SimpleAlgo V4. This is the latest indicator. This is the newest one that we just released, and so far the feedback has been great. Our members are loving it. I've personally been using it for my trading, and this is a strategy that I just recently found that I want to share with you guys today because I think it can actually help a lot of you, whether you're a beginner or not. But before I get into it, I just want to say that if you use code YouTube at checkout for any subscription plan that's on our website, you will get 30% off of your first payment. That's an exclusive offer only for our YouTube subscribers, so feel free to use that code before it expires because it won't last forever. But without further ado, let's just get into it. So first, once the indicator's on your chart, just double click any of the buy or sell signals, and it's going to pop open this settings tab right here. Make sure your signal sensitivity is set to low. You want to make sure active trend, signal line, signals, and bar color are enabled, and dynamic take profit labels are enabled. So real quick, let me just go over each individual feature so that you know what I'm talking about and no one's confused. I'm going to go in depth in this video. So I'm going to disable everything and go over each feature one by one real quick. So the first feature we're going to go over is this active trend line, which is this dark green and dark red line that hovers below and over the candlesticks. And this feature is basically used to give you a general understanding of how strong the current trend is. So the lower the candlesticks trade below the active trend line, the more bearish it is. And the higher the candlesticks trade above the green active trend line, the more bullish it is. A lot of people like to use this as a trailing stop loss, and you can use it for that. But with this particular strategy, that is not what we were using it for. And we'll get into the actual application of this feature later on in this video. But for now, let's move on to the next feature. And that is the signal line. So very self-explanatory. Whenever you're in a buy signal, the line is going to turn green. And whenever you're in a sell signal, the line is going to be red. But also, it's going to show you the overall strength of the signal. While the active trend line shows you the strength of the overall trend, the signal line shows you the strength of the actual signal, the buy or the sell signal. So if candles are trading well above the buy signal line, then you know that you're currently in a very strong buy signal. Now, if you get a sell signal and candles are trading in the middle of the trend line, kind of consolidated like this, then you know that you're in a pretty weak sell signal and it might not be worth taking that trade. Same goes for the buy signals. So this signal line is mainly used to filter out false signals. Because look, obviously, when people buy our indicator, a lot of people make the mistake of assuming that I can just blindly follow these buy and sell signals and it's like a magic crystal ball and our algorithm is going to have a perfect formula for every time frame, every ticker symbol, and if I just blindly follow every buy and sell signal, I'll be profitable. Unfortunately, my friends, trading is not that simple, right? There is a lot more that goes into it, and it's a big numbers game. A lot of it is about risk management, and the reason we have these little features like the signal line, the active trend line, it's to filter out the negative signals, and then you use the signals more so as a confirmation. But anyway, I'm going to quit yapping right now because I'm going to go over the application of the signal line and the active trend line and how we use them in conjunction with each other later on in this video. Okay, we also have bar color. When you enable bar color on your chart, it's going to help you identify if you're in a bullish, bearish, or a sideways market. So when you see these purplish, pinkish candlesticks, then that's how you know you are more in a consolidated sideways market versus a trending market. And when you see these bright green candlesticks, you know you're in a bullish market. And when you see consistent bright red candlesticks, you're in a bearish market. Again, another very self-explanatory feature. We try to make everything very simple and self-explanatory because our indicators at the end of the day, although you can use them as an advanced trader like I do, they're more so made to cater towards beginner traders. And then last but not least, we have the dynamic take profit levels. So when you're in a buy or a sell signal, the algorithm is going to use AI in order to time the best exits. So say you're in a buy signal, it's going to actually tell you when to take profits. So you're going to see these tiny little labels right here. It says take profit 1, and it gives you 3 take profit levels. Once you're on your 3rd take profit level, that is when you should be completely out of your position. This works for sell signals as well. As you can see here, we got a sell signal and it told you to take profit 1 here, and it gave you a first take profit here and a second take profit there. Now for this strategy that I'm about to show you guys, we're only using the first take profit level. So you don't have to worry about take profit 2 or take profit 3. We're only going to be taking profits at the first dynamic take profit level. All right, now that I went over all of the features and you know exactly how this works, let's go over the actual strategy itself. All right, so we're looking for 3 main things here in order to enter a trade. Number 1, we're looking for a buy signal. 2, we're looking for the signal line to cross above the active trend line. And then 3, we're just looking for a green bar color. So if all this criteria aligns, then we have confirmation to enter a long position. Now you can also use this exact same method for a short position. It's the exact same concept. So for a short position, 1, we're looking for a sell signal. 2, we're looking for the signal line to cross below the active trend line. And then 3, we're looking for a red bar color. That gives us all the requirements we need for a short position. And you know what? We have an example right here as well. The signal line is crossed below the active trend line, which is this darker line right here. We're in a sell signal and the candle colors are red. And as you can see, this would have ended up being a pretty successful trade. So I'm going to move on. I'm going to show you examples of this strategy in practice. So feel free to screenshot this so that maybe you can use it as a reference when you're trading on your own. So this is our first example right here. As you can see, we have our buy signal. The signal line has crossed over the active trend line and our candles are green. So we have all the confirmation needed in order to enter this trade. Now, I know you might be thinking, when do you cut losses? Because this obviously isn't going to be 100% accurate. And that's a great question, because at the end of the day, trading is all about risk management, and you should always know when you're going to enter, whether that's to take profits or to cut your losses. We're only going to cut losses if and when we get a sell signal. So a signal that looks like that. That's when you cut your losses. And you take profits when you get your first dynamic take profit level. Let's just see how this trade would have played out. Boom. So if we would have taken this trade right here, we would have made a good 4.3% on this trade, which is actually very good. We got our take profit level, so we knew when to take profits. And at the end of the day, trading is about being regimented and disciplined. Always have to have an exit strategy. We have our exit strategy. We take profits on the dynamic take profit level. We cut losses when we get a sell signal. We have a technical strategy. We only enter when the signal line crosses above the active trend line and the candlesticks are green, and we have a buy signal. That's our technical strategy. And when you have a disciplined technical and risk management strategy, there's no gambling involved. There's no uncertainty. It either the trade plays out and you make money, or it doesn't and you cut losses. But every trader has losing trades. And so when you get losses and you have a proper risk management system, you know, most beginner traders will wind up winning 9 out of their 10 trades. And then the last trade that they make wipes out all the gains from the previous 9 wins. And that's because their first mistake was not having proper risk management and not having a proper trading plan. When you have a proper trading plan, you're not mentally involved in your trading position. It's all technical, it's all strategic, and the last thing you want to do is be an emotional trader. Emotional traders never win. You have to have no emotion when you trade. And the only way to accomplish that is to have a distinct plan and strategy like what I just showed you right here. Anyway, enough yapping. Let's go over some more examples. So this is going to be our last long position example, and I'm going to go over 2 short position examples. So right here, we have our buy signal. Signal line is trading above the active trend line. I know it's hard to see because it's so tiny here, but there's the active trend line. And we have a green bar candle. Stop loss at a sell signal, take profit when it tells us to take profits. Let's see how this one plays out. All right. So there was our take profit 1 right here at the top of this candle, assuming we entered at the green candle. This would have been 6.5% gain. Listen, if you're trading options or if you're trading crypto on leverage like most people are, and even if you're trading shares, 6.5% on a trade in a day is pretty fucking amazing. All right. So you're going to get a lot of those trades, but you're also going to get a lot of trades where you take profits sooner and it winds up being a little scalp and you end up holding it for only like 30 minutes because you get the take profit so fast. But even those trades, they add up, those little scalps. So that's why this method is good for scalpers and swing traders. At the end of the day, these take profit levels are based off of an AI algorithm. All right, here's a good short position example. We got our sell signal, we have our red candle bar, and the signal line is crossed below the active trend line. So this is a good trade to take. Let's see how this one would have played out. There we have it. There's our take profit right there. So assuming we would have entered down here, right as the signal line crossed below the active trend line, and we took profits when it told us to, that's about a 5 to 6% return right there on a short position. Another very successful would-be trade. All right, here's another really good one. The signal line is trading below the active trend line. We have our sell signal. We have our red candles. This is a good trade to take. Let's see how this one does. All right, you would have made around 8% profit on this one. So guys, to put it simply, that's the strategy that I'm currently using in today's market. Listen, the market changes all the time and you always have to adapt and find new methods. So I will continue to share my methods and strategies with you guys. If you want more videos like this, drop a comment down below. Don't forget to use code YouTube for 30% off, exclusive offer only for our YouTube watchers. Also probably going to be raising prices very soon due to high demand. So make sure to lock in today's rate while you still can. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Peace.